Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Trigger Tech Tips. I'm William, and today we're going to do a basic maintenance on your gas blowback pistols. Again, this is just a basic kind of procedure that you can do at the end of every game when you come home. You can use it on any other of your pistols. We're not going to disassemble it, so it's going to apply on most pistols, so you don't have to disassemble them, and we can just run through the technique itself. So today we're going to be using a Poseidon P18. It's basically modeled after the Glock 18C, so we're going to be using this as a demo. So first thing we're going to do, you're going to remove the magazine. After that, we're going to set the gun aside. So, assuming if you have BBs inside the magazine, there's different methods that you can use to remove the BBs. The simplest one is usually magazines have a large opening. You can pull this down and you see the BBs can move in. You can grab a tray or a container so you can recycle your BBs. And basically you're just gonna shake and pour, and the BBs should all be able to go out like so. The second way, if you have a full magazine, or if you have a magazine without an opening, you can use like a rod to push out the BBs from the feed lip. But using this method, it will cause scratches on your BBs, so you most likely won't be able to recycle them. The last way that some players do is they would put the magazine into the gun, they'll fire it off, but just to let you know, if you do this method, it's going to accelerate wear on the gun because the gun is going to be cycling. So just keep that in mind if you do that method. So after the magazine's been taken care of, you're gonna, for gas magazines, fill it with just a little bit of gas, about 1 to 2 seconds. So you open your feed cap or feeding area, you take your gas can, you're gonna count to 1 to 2. So 1, 2, and that's it. Afterwards, you can then set your magazine aside in any storage container. For CO2 magazines, you actually do the opposite. You have to remove the CO2 cartridge because the gas is dry and it's under a lot of pressure. But for green gas magazines, you want gas. Now we move over to the gun. So for the gun itself, on the externals, again, if it's dirty or dusty, use a brush to wipe it off. If it's muddy or wet, you can use a damp cloth. If you do use a damp cloth, again, leave it in an open area, let it dry for about 24 hours before you put it in any sort of container or storage unit. After that, we're gonna lock the slide back, so then you'll expose your barrel and the inner assembly. So again, we will not be disassembling the pistol. You're gonna take a cleaning and unjamming rod. We're gonna first use the unjamming end. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna insert it from the front of the barrel, you're gonna push it lightly all the way to the rear. If there's any BBs, it'll fall out and that'll make sure your barrel is clear. Afterwards, you remove the rod. So now we know that the gun is clear, we're gonna go ahead with the barrel cleaning. So similar to our AEG, you're gonna take a one-piece kind of cloth, again, dry, or if the barrel is very dirty, you can use rubbing alcohol, no other lubricant or oil. You're gonna roll it up like so, and you're gonna put it into the jig. You're then going to take the cleaning cloth, again, as you insert into the barrel, you're going to do a rotation all the way through. Near the end, just be very, very careful. You don't push too hard or else it can impact and go into the nozzle housing. So from here, in the opening, you're actually going to remove the cloth so that you can actually pull the rod out. Okay? You'll keep doing this until the paper that you put in is clear. That means that there's no more debris inside the barrel and that your barrel is also clean. After that, let the slide go forward. If you have a Glock or any gun that's a striker fire system, so there's no hammer in the back, you're gonna pull the trigger. This will allow the hammer inside to go forward and release the spring tension. If you have a gun with a hammer system, you can either fire the action or have a decocker if your gun has that function. But that's pretty much it for this video. Again, it's a brief basic maintenance on your gas blowback pistols that you can apply on most gas pistols out there. You don't have to disassemble the slide. it's just a basic external clean, barrel clean. These methods will help you increase the longevity of your pistols and ensure that they are working properly. If you don't use your pistol often, every 3 to 6 months or so, you should take it out and then give it a little lubrication and just an overall check. We will cover more details in our next video when we talk about the internals of the gas pistol. But that's it for today. If you like our content, give us a like, thumbs up. Feel free to follow us on our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram pages. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop by our next store, and our sales associates will be able to help you. That's it. Have a good day.